Welcome to Tunnel Talk, where we discuss all things indoor skydiving and tunnel flying. So we're here today at IFLY Downunder with Kurmet, the Chief Instructor here at IFLY Downunder.
Yep, hello.
So IFLY Downunder, largest tunnel in Australia, 16.4 feet.
Yeah, 16.5, I believe.
Yep. So basically, I mean, normal tunnel sizes, 12 foot, 14 foot, and 16.5 is considered large.
12-foot tunnels are kind of mainly for first-timer commercial use. They've been purchased mostly to cater for first-timers, depending on the location. The 14-footers are a very now common tunnel and mostly used because it's a good combination of efficiency and the size as well for skydivers and first-time flyers.
Yep. And for tunnel flyers, 16.5 foot is the luxury big boy.
Exactly. Yes. This is where people come even from other states to fly where there's other tunnels available.
So this week here at IFLY Downunder, you guys have had an indoor team, the Uprising, and they've been getting coaching from two of the world's best world champions, outdoor and indoor, Dennis and Clementine, both four-way champions.
Yeah, it's great to see champions come, and they're not the first ones and not the last ones. So we have very regular, I guess, star guests here who and coaches who come and teach our flyers.
Indoor skydiving is becoming a big sport in its own right.
Yeah, this is great to see, and it's quite a bit of push towards Olympics even. So for someone who doesn't know much about indoor skydiving, that tunnels are way more efficient learning than skydiving is. People can learn new moves a lot quicker and get creative. Because you can do a lot of time in one day, that's why the creative side can kind of blossom a lot quicker as well, and that's what we've seen in the last few years. And I think that's why it's really has revolutionised the sport of body flight in general.
So you've got a lot of obviously a lot of talented instructors, but you've got a lot of talented athletes within your team. For example, you've got Kyle and Jimmy, who are on the Australian champion outdoor VFS team and indoor Australian champions. They're training at the moment outdoors, and they're heading off to the Australian Outdoor Parachuting Championships. Then they're heading, I believe, off to Russia for the Outdoor World Championships, and then they're straight back here for the Australian Indoor Championships.
Yeah. They're not just even Australian champions. They are placed very high in the world sense already as well.
And 2018, Australia hosted the Outdoor World Championships, and Focus with Kyle and Jimmy placed third. And look, for people wanting to get into the sport, either outdoors or in, that's one of the great things about IFLY Downunder here in Sydney. You've got that talented team of staff, coaches. People can come, no experience needed. They can come and fly with some of the Australia's best and the world's best.
Absolutely. You have to be here to see it and experience it. So if you're not one of our regulars, you should become one.
And if sometimes people feel a little bit daunted or intimidated when they look at the tunnels and they look at some of these teams training, come along for your first time. It's really easy to do, not complicated. The 30-minute briefing beforehand, and they're in the tunnel with you guys doing their first indoor skydiving.
Yeah, it's very, very accessible. All abilities, also age from 3 to 103, yeah, it's very simple instructions because the instructor is going to be there right next to you the whole time when you start off, and gradually introduce you to how to control your body and learn to fly.
Yep. You guys run a junior flyers program for kids during the school term?
Absolutely. Especially as a kid, it's a great way of learning. Our kids club, our junior IFLY club, is exactly for that because it's kids only session. So that way they can start flying together, have some fun. Yeah.
And you, two of your instructors who coach the kids, you've got Elise and Donnie who look after that program. Like Elise is the current Australian freestyle champion. Donnie is close behind, won silver last year at the freestyle nationals. So yeah, Elise and Donnie look after the kids, take them through a learning program during the school terms.
Yeah, and bring a great perspective, like from freestyle discipline into the to the kids, because kids generally want to be trying lots of different things and have fun and kind of throw different shapes in there. So yeah, like good effort from them.
And one thing that might surprise people, maybe you can give us some insight. You, like every couple of years, you run courses to train instructors to work at the tunnel. And maybe surprisingly enough for some people watching who may not be familiar with the sport, with indoor skydiving, no experience required. You don't need to be an outdoor skydiver, you don't need to be an indoor skydiver. When you run your instructor courses, people can walk in the door with no previous experience.
Exactly. My total free fall when I started as a tunnel instructor was about 15 seconds. Just
that must have been an interesting jump.
That's actually combined 3 5-second delays. I'm pretty sure the very first one was a very quick 1 2 3 4 5. But yes, absolutely. Would train someone up from the with no experience needed, and we've trained plenty of instructors with no skydiving experience, and they're likely to end up skydiving at some point just because they get curious. But yeah, it's a sport in itself.
Yep, and I guess again for people that may be just curious about the sport of indoor skydiving, so the tunnel instructors are they're driving the tunnel and controlling the wind flow. They're on the door, like we can see Donnie over there, keeping the flyers safe. And then also the instructors are actively coaching flyers. So now I believe your people can find you on your Facebook coaching site, Kurmet, the coaching and tunnel long distance runner. Is there a story behind that?
I guess it's just a bit of a joke from my part, because I've been in this industry for quite a while now. First of all, people, when they say but jump in a tunnel and going for a fly or going for a burn or like let's run, it's just a bit of a term. And then because I've been in the sport for quite a while, the long distance just come from that. But yeah, I also have a website as well. It's called tunnelcoach.com.au, and you'll find all the information there.
All right, so if you're thinking about indoor skydiving, come on down, IFLY Downunder in Sydney, next to Penrith Panthers, or there's tunnels now, Gold Coast, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth. So the tunnels are becoming more and more popular, the sport's growing. Get into it. Thank you, Kurmet.
Thank you, yeah. I'll see you at the big boy.